We've all left home. We've all left home before. And when we leave home, we try to take something with us. In my first university, I decided to take one thing with me that I valued truly, deeply. I got a cutting board for my first Christmas. That's what I asked from my mother, because there's something to me that's something attached. Cutting vegetables, learning how to cut chicken, learning how to cut garlic for your first time. These things happen at home, and they were very connected for me. So for my first year at university, I brought back a cutting board. My friends didn't understand, but they didn't need to. It was very personal and very deep. And that's where I'd like to begin. This is me less than a month ago. Proud Isaac president, completing my second term. This is Christina, and this is Michael, my mother and my son. Isaac speaking. At this very point in my life, I had great ambitions. I said, I've been one of the best LCPs, I'm modest, one of the best LCPs in Isaac Canada. Innovation, change, difficulty. I've overcome so many things as a president, and I was ready to bring that knowledge and experience to the national level. I was ready to run for MCP. Plans change. It took me a while to come to terms with deciding not to run for MCP. Not what I was going to do next was important, but why I wanted to not run. There's a concept of marginal difference, an economics concept, that things either accelerate and change fast, or change slow, or flatten out and don't change at all. My president terms, marginal differences. Things I can do now, I would have never believed before, at all. Experiences, countries visited, conferences, life-changing aha moments. But I realized, coming to the close of my second term, and I knew that my marginal change of staying in Isaac, and staying and running for president and moving up and up and up, was not going to be like this. And I knew this. There's a moment in your career that you feel, I've lived this platform, I have so much to give back, but it's not my responsibility, it's not my feeling to take from this point. It's time to try something new. So when I came to this retreat, when I signed up for this retreat, up until this point, even on the airplane, I had been trimming, cutting things out of my life that I found to be either confusing or unnecessary. My desktop on my computer is fresh and clean. There's no distractions of files. My life, when I wake up in the morning, I don't have 100 things to do. My calendar isn't full. My inbox still gets 100 emails a day, but that's just because I'm almost done my president term. I'm not actually done yet. But I've been trimming, cutting down. And I knew coming to this session and coming to this retreat that I would get a chance to focus more on my next step. This is Carson, the entrepreneur, the small business owner, the leader. All the skills that I learned in LCP, all the soft skills, the team management, said it's my turn to be the founder, to start a team, to have an idea, turn that idea into an opportunity, grab resources and connect the dots, have a business plan. And I looked really good in a suit. Sidebar, I'm in a wonderful relationship right now, and Mallory will admit that I'd been asking her out for 2 years, and she always, oh no, I can't, and always sort of, I knew she was interested, but I never got the date. And I showed up to the office one day, the athletics office in our university. She was working, and I came back from an Isaac presentation in my suit, and she said that was the moment. So I know this suit is powerful, and I know I could start any business and lead any and move up and go international and be a leader in the world. I'd heard about lifestyle businesses and scaled up startup companies, ones that grow fast. And I saw one, I saw the other. I said, I'm gonna make the biggest thing in the world. This was me, Mr. Startup Canada. I'm applying to an entrepreneurship course next semester. I'm still doing this. But I've changed my perspective. And I'd like to tell you a little story about how that came about. Next. So, this is Portugal, and this is North America. The map isn't to scale, or real. Anyways, there was a young traveler who came across a pirate's gold map, treasure map. And he said, I want all the riches in the world. I want to go out and discover. I want to find all the riches. He was so ready, so eager. He jumped on this plane. No, he jumped on this boat, sailed across the ocean. And he got to his destination. He landed, and he knew it was an X. I mean, there's no scale, but it's a bigger space. He wasn't just going to show up and grab a box and go home. He got there and he looked around and he saw some villages and he looked at his X and he said, okay, I'm going to start digging now. He would dig for days. Every night a villager would come up to him and say, hey, what are you doing? I'm not very good with accents. He'd say, what are you doing? He'd call up, I'm digging for treasure. I'd say, okay, well, if you want to come over for dinner, I'll see you tonight. And they'd leave. And he'd dig and dig and dig, and his hands would be bare, and he'd be exhausted, and he'd accept the invitation and go and enjoy dinner and sit down. And dinner's at these foreign people's house, like France. It wasn't like back at his home. It wasn't these quick, ye old McDonald's. It was sit, relax, enjoy. He loved it. But every day he went back and dug a hole. Every day a new villager. Well, when you're done there, I'll be over here. Come for dinner, okay? All right. Sunfall. Another dinner, another night. This went on and on and on. Weeks, months. And eventually, he became exhausted. Not of the hospitality, but of the search. He'd gotten all these new insights and new stories and new perspectives from all these villagers. But he had no treasure. So he went back from the Portugal area to the other North America area. And he was disappointed. He got back home. He said, I have no treasure, I have nothing to show. I didn't bring back what I wanted. So he knew he had friends, he called them up and said, no, he didn't call, he sent an email. No, sent a mail, a post. It's an old story. On horses. And his friends gathered and came to his place and sat down. And he looked around the table. And he realized it's been a while since he'd been home, and it was time to break bread. Into his house he invited his friends to eat a meal, to share something meaningful. And they asked him, tell me your stories. He learned how to tell stories at this foreign land. And he shared, and they're very happy, very excited. And he started to realize when he got back, he started to realize that this home space, this open space that he'd created, with all these stories and recipes from abroad and ideas, that people were interested, people liked it. This French way of eating, European way of eating, of relaxing, of debriefing the day, of reflecting, of choosing the right ingredients, of tasting as you go. It was refreshing. And his friends were refreshing. This is what mattered to him. He went to a faraway land, far, and thought he came back empty-handed, but he came back richer than he ever could have been. Because he had a space where his friends joined him, where they shared meaningful connections. The entire time of the story, his treasure was at home. It just took him leaving, or her, leaving and coming back and realizing what it is that they had. I felt like a monkey this weekend. Not because I'm a giddy Canadian, but I felt like a thinking monkey. Viewpoint shift. Step from your usual perspective into another in order to better understand someone. Shift energy, reframe meanings, open up new ideas, or simply see a situation with new eyes. Feedback. Feedback is offering and receiving information in various forms that enables adaptation and learning. Feedback lets us know what's working and what's not, helping us stay on track for achieving our goals. Letting go. Releasing preconceived notions, your ego and your fears. To be fully open, without attachment, to outcome. As a clear channel, you allow whatever needs to come through in order to be of service to yourself, your group, and the world. I would like to invite you to a space. Not now, but maybe now if you can. But I'd like to invite you to a space that's open. This is an open invitation for this group. I'd like to invite you to help me redefine a word, a concept, a feeling. I'd like to redefine breaking bread, and I need help. Where the young traveler came back and gathered his friends, I think that's limiting, and we can grow this. Break bread. Definition 2. To connect meaningfully with others, especially through discovering, creating, and sharing meals together. This hit me really hard yesterday, and in a good way. When we sat in a circle and shared feedback with each other and talked about the concept of hosting and creating a space, and breaking bread together came up. And for the longest time I'd been running from this idea of, I like to cook, but I'll just cook when I can. I like having people over, but I'll just do that when I can. But I'm an entrepreneur, I'm gonna go start an e-business. But I'm gonna do marketing, I'm gonna do other things. I'll cook when I can, I'll cook when I have free time. And I've been living by this false perception of what I was and what I liked and what motivated me, what moved me. And breaking bread together, it was just such a powerful container for understanding. I had a picture of myself as a local committee president. I had a picture of myself as the entrepreneur in the suit, the nice suit. Mm-hmm. The next picture I have up here is from December 14th, 2012, when 10 people pay $50 to help reinvent the process of breaking bread. And the invitation for you is always open.